So hello everyone and welcome to our Workshop Wednesdays. This week we're focusing on LinkedIn 101, making your network work for you. So as we mentioned obviously before, this workshop's all about LinkedIn. And LinkedIn has a lot of value. It's not just like any other social media work site. It's able to personalize your professional brand. You can network in real time. You offer points of access to certain jobs, careers, or insights that you may not be able to get otherwise. And you have a very captive audience there, which allows for greater visibility. So ultimately, LinkedIn has a lot of value that maybe some other social networking sites don't always have. So LinkedIn can be really, really great, again, to personalize the professional process. So today we're going to start by talking about some of those profile basics. So if you haven't yet created a profile, really what it should do is it should show off your resume in a more personalized way. So it should match your resume. It should show off any of the professional skills you've learned in your experience. It should show where you've been and where you're going. And then it should also offer points of further connection. So some things to think about when you're going in to create your profile as a student. If maybe you don't always have those professional experiences under your belt yet, you can consider highlighting internships or volunteer opportunities. Consider highlighting skills you've gained in coursework, significant projects you've completed in classes. You can also include any professional development opportunities you've taken advantage of, as well as any honors, awards, or certifications that you've earned in college, and then as well as any relevant coursework. So all of these things are skills that you can include in your LinkedIn profile to really show off what kind of professional you are going to be. Because you might not be in that position yet, right? Where you're still in school, you haven't yet graduated, you're still gaining those skills, but there are things that you can show off on your LinkedIn profile to, again, create those points of connection and be able to build that network. So we'll go over to the profile. So once you've created your LinkedIn account, it's going to have kind of like a home page. It's going to ask you to go ahead and start building your profile. And so we'll start at the top of the screen and move our way down. Basically, you want to start with some sort of profile picture, obviously your name, and then some sort of title. For me, obviously, I'm a career advisor at Valencia College, but for you guys, that title can take a lot of different forms. You may be a recent graduate from psychology, or you may be an AS student in, medical office administration. It might vary depending on what that title is. And if you need any help deciding on what that title can be, you can always come to the Career Center and we can go through it specifically with you. But LinkedIn makes it pretty easy, pretty user-friendly to be able to add these profile sections by just going to this drop-down here. So if you want to start working on your intro, you start at the top and work your way down. You just start to add information about yourself. So you start to add your location. And all of these are important because LinkedIn is working like an algorithm, like any other social media site. So once you add your location, it's going to put you in a circle of other people within that location as well. So then once you want to go into your about, you want to be able to fill this about section. And remember in our student example, they put, I'm a recent graduate with these skills and I'm looking for a position that utilizes my passions. So those are the kinds of things that you want to include in an about section. For me, I have my own personal podcast, so I highlighted my podcast here. And then I talked about myself as far as how I am personally and professionally. So as a student advisor, what my important values are. And these, again, just offer those points of connection, but also just kind of summarize you as an individual. So you can make this as kind of unique as you like and as personalized as you like. And to edit the about section, you just go to this little pencil over here, and you can write your summary and then save it there. I will say for the profile picture, if you haven't yet like taken a profile picture that you think is professionally appropriate for LinkedIn, we're in a really great position right now to kind of utilize our Zoom function to actually do that. So Zoom has this great ability to put in these virtual backgrounds. So I can actually just take a picture right in front of Valencia and kind of make that my profile picture. So that's just a tip if you guys wanted to be able to take your own professional profile photo, use Zoom to be able to do that. It's really helpful. And so then you're going to continue working down your profile. So it starts with experience, but if for you guys, you can always start with education. Sometimes it's a little easier to start there if you're not really sure what your experience is going to look like. So you'll start with your background section. And so you can go to work experience, education, licenses and certifications, or volunteer experience. But we can all start with education since we're all attending Valencia. So you'll go to that and it'll go to an add education section. So you can search for the school right here. So Valencia College. You can put in your degree. So if you're searching or if you're earning an associate in arts, you can put that. And you can also further your field of study. So if you're currently following the biomedical sciences pre-major or degree pathway, then you can always select that as well. And then you can put your start year and your expected graduation date. And that's okay to just kind of be an estimate if you're not quite sure of your graduation date at this time. You can put in any activities or societies that you're a part of. So you can, highlight any clubs or organizations that you're part of. If you're part of our Career Action Distinction Program or part of our LinkedIn Learning Community, those are different activities and societies that you can highlight here in the education section. And then you can add a description if you'd like to as well. So if you wanted to, talk about what your goals are at your bachelor's degree level or something like that, that's something you can do in your description. You can also make it basic. I'm an associate in arts student getting my associate in arts at Valencia College and looking for administrative opportunities after. So things like that, you can kind of just be basic. So that's how you do the education section. So I encourage all of you guys, if you have your screen open next to the Zoom, go ahead and add that education section now. Yes. And then another part that I want to highlight about the education, because I mentioned earlier that you can highlight projects, coursework, things like that. So under education, you can add it under that description section. But you can also add it under this accomplishment section. So for accomplishments, if you had some courses that you completed, for example, our hardware course, a lot of students, when they come out of the computer hardware class, they have their A+ certification. And so if you wanted to be able to show off that after you took that class, you earned a certification, then go ahead and put it in your coursework. So if I wanted to add certain courses, so for example, medical terminology may be an important course if you're going into medical office administration. And so you wanted to take that, you put medical terminology during a certain semester. And again, those are great ways to just be able to personalize your profile to show that, you're not just any student earning your associate's or bachelor's degree, but you have some specialization to your profile. So that's under courses. You can also do prominent projects. This is a fantastic way to really show off leadership skills or any sort of like research abilities, really anything like that. Also teamwork, collaboration. Projects are a fantastic way to be able to show off the skills that you earned in that. So if you did any sort of semester-long projects, group projects, anything like that for any of your classes, you may want to consider putting it in the project section. Just to be able to, again, show where you take a responsibility and initiative in your academics and be able to show that off there. So that's another great way to be able to expand your profile if you don't have a lot of that professional experience under your belt. And then you can also add honors and awards. So if you're on the president's list, dean's list, anything like that, if you're part of an honor society or if you earned any awards, definitely highlight it in here, as well as any languages or organizations. And then you can also add skills. And these are a way for people to actually be able to endorse your skills. So recruiting, for example, is one of my skills. I used to be a recruiter, so let's go ahead and add that to my skills. And then if I went down to my skills section here, you see that people can actually endorse your skills. And that means that they are advocating on your behalf, saying, yes, I have seen her skills in action, and they are great. Okay, so now that you have your profile built, you want to start connecting with people. You want to start building that network and actually utilizing LinkedIn for the benefit that it is. So the first place that I suggest connecting with is just going to be your Valencia College alumni. This is going to be a great place to begin. So you can just go to that search bar, type in Valencia College, and go directly to their profile. And then here, so they're going to post, about, they'll have their posts, their jobs, but then they have this nifty little alumni feature. And so as you can see, there are 100,000 alumni available for you to be able to connect with. And so we might want to narrow that down a little bit. So if you want to narrow it down by where they live, you can do so that way. If you want to narrow it down by where they work, then you can do that. What they do, what they studied, what they're skilled at, or how you're connected. And so I may want to start by connecting with people in my major. So let's say, I'm a psychology, I'm going to pursue a bachelor's degree in psychology. And so I might want to filter it that way. And so then it's going to continue showing me profiles. And so here, it shows me how many? 3,795 profiles of students who list Valencia College and psychology. So here, some people are seeking career opportunities. Otherwise, some people might be in job positions already. So just kind of depending on what you're looking for, you can continue to connect with people. If you just want to get to know different students, just go ahead and, click connect and, and whoever, accepts that friend request can go. But if you want to be a little more targeted in that, you maybe want to start by looking at people that are in the field that you're interested in. So here we can narrow it down a little more. So let's say that you want to work in psychology and you want to be a counselor. So I can search now counselor, and it shows me 311 alumni who have listed as Valencia and have taken psychology and that they work as a counselor. And so I could go, for example, to Christina's profile here, and she's a registered mental health counselor intern. So that's a great way, a great person to connect with. If I wanted to connect, I can send a personalized message, and I may say, hello, I am a psychology major, looking for internship opportunities in counseling. And then may I talk to you about your experience? And then they can offer you a little bit of time and they can show you about what their process was like in getting to where they are now. So specifically for this student, you may want to ask, how did you locate the internship that you're doing currently? And that's a great way to be able to target who your network is and really create a network that is going to work for you, because you really don't want to get stuck in that hole like you maybe have on your other social media accounts where you've liked a little bit too much of everything, you've connected with too many people, and now the feed isn't the best, right? It's not the best quality content that you want. So sometimes you just have to start over, create a new account and get a new feed. So you want to start from the top, being really intentional about who you connect with. You don't want to just connect with everybody because ultimately then you won't have a feed that works for you. So again, this is a fantastic way to connect with people. I'll just demo that again. I just went to Valencia College's main page. I went to their alumni tab here. Then I just searched by career title. I searched by degree, and then I found people to connect with. And so this is a fantastic way to do career research. If you're not really certain about which field you'd like to go into, then you can connect with people and get a little more information, right? Do some of those informational interviews to be able to find out a little bit more about the field that you're interested in. And, be able to make career decisions from there. It's also a great way to be able to do that research and planning as far as what are the steps that I need to complete to be able to get to the job that I want to get to. So fantastic to be able to talk to people who've been through it. It gives you a much firmer idea of what it's going to be like and what the process is going to be like. Okay. The other people who you can connect with is anybody in your job field that you're interested in. So for instance, maybe you want to work at Disney. Then you can go to Walt Disney World's page. And again, you can go to their people function here and be able to search employees by keyword. So maybe you want to be a data analyst. Then I would go ahead and just put in my search, my title, and search for that. It shows me 323 employees. And so for this, so I could go and talk to Jordan Goshman. So for example, I know that in NSC, you have to do those informational interviews in your new student experience class. So if you were interested in possibly a career in data analyst, and you wanted to even target Walt Disney World, then you could connect with this person. And again, the same way I demonstrated earlier, you can just add a note and let them know, you know, hey, I'm interested in your field. If you wouldn't mind giving me a few minutes just to be able to get a little more information about how you reached the place you did, and remembering to ask those questions that are important for informational interviews. How much do you enjoy the position? How much work is involved? How much do you see your family? How much do you collaborate with others in different departments? Those kinds of important questions to let you know what the job is really like. So that's another fantastic way to target people in your network, is to just go through the like career titles that you're aiming for, or the people or the company that you're aiming for. And you can do that with virtually any career. It's really exciting. And you can even, if you're kind of going blind search, you can even just put in the search bar. So for example, if I was looking for registered nurse, then I could search for registered nurse and go by jobs, people, posts, groups. So am I trying to locate a group of registered nurses that I'm looking to connect with? Am I trying to look for jobs for registered nurses? Or am I trying to look for people who work as registered nurses? And so from there, I can filter it. So if I select people, then this is everybody who lists on their LinkedIn that they are a registered nurse. And again, you can go and connect, do those informational interviews, or anything else that you may need to gain that information. So lots of different ways to be able to search on LinkedIn for people, but ultimately it's, you know, the world is your oyster as far as LinkedIn is concerned. You can really find a lot of people to connect with that are relevant to you and relevant to your professional goals. I'll just toggle through another couple of these functions at the top. I see a request from one of our attendees. So yes, definitely accept that. So here we go. So like you can always connect with that way. It also gives you people as suggestions. So people you may have worked closely with. And this is based on the jobs and the education that I put in my profile. So right now it's showing me a lot of other Valencia College employees. But it may also show me Rollins College alumni since I attended Rollins. Here it has people you may know from Rollins College. So if you aren't really sure where to begin with connecting, you can always also go to this page of my network and connect that way. And I mean, LinkedIn does the most as far as curating great content for you. So you can always go to these online events that it includes for you. And then the jobs function is also, of course, great to be able to search for jobs. And then you can start to save specific jobs. So this is great for practice. If you haven't yet practiced a job search before, this is a fantastic way to do it. And then of course, LinkedIn always curates those recommendations for you. Oh, I love that this actually brought this up because this is what I was going to move into next. So what I was going to talk about next was premium, and just if you're getting really serious about your job search, then you can always try premium. So premium gives you 90 days for free for you to be able to see specific insights, all of those. So I'll show you quickly kind of how that works. So like I was saying, when you're getting really serious about your job search, do that 30 or 90-day free trial of LinkedIn Premium because it'll show you different insights. So you'll get the profile insights, you can target your job search a little more, and it'll give you those optimization recommendations as well. So for instance, it'll show you people who view your profile, where it doesn't show you this if you don't have premium. It'll block out their names so you can't see them. But here it'll show you their profile and you'll be able to connect with them. So this is also a fantastic way to really, really hone in and target your job search when you're getting really serious about it. So again, since it's only for about 90 days, I would do it for like after you graduate or right before you graduate or whenever you're getting really serious about applying to jobs.